The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to talk about Social Security claiming, how to potentially build business and better assist your clients with Social Security knowledge, which is still very vibrant seminar system and very great way to meet clients. So our guest speaker today will be Dave Pimper. Dave is the president of Lazarus Coaching, and he's going to give us a little information on Social Security, talk a little bit about Social Security claiming seminars, introduce maybe a pretty exciting new way to get people in the room, and so it's going to be a great webinar that we have today. I'm going to zip through some things here. Keep in mind, again, my name is Steve Murray. I'm responsible for a few things here at the office, and some of those things are just making sure that we have the right incentives and services in place to help you grow your business. I'm going to go through a couple things which I see we have a pretty good group of new folks on today, which you may not be aware of. Those of you that have been around a while, of course, are aware of these programs, and I want to make sure that we don't miss out. So during the course of the event, a poll or so might pop up, or you might see an opportunity to ask a question. What I'd like you to do at that point is just type it in, and we'll ask Dave, or I'll answer it myself. And as a poll pops up, if you can answer a quick yes or no, that's always very much appreciated. So I want to make sure that everyone's aware of these two basic programs that we've had here at IAMS for many, many years now. A referred producer program and marketing reimbursement are very solid programs that can help you grow your business and hopefully give you incentive to do your business with IAMS, and also to recommend potential new advisors to IAMS, maybe some colleagues that you're aware of from across the country. That's really been the way that we've grown our business. We've chosen to reward those referrals with upfront money, simple, just giving us a name of someone that think might be interested, and they decide to get appointed with us. We're going to send you a check for $50. But once they begin to do business, that's when the money really starts adding up for you. We have a really nice referral program. We send out checks pretty much quarterly, but some now monthly as well, depending on the size of those checks. The larger ones we send out monthly. But the opportunity for you to maybe add to your marketing budget or just add to your bottom line through referrals is really very real. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. I won't go through the numbers. You can see them there before you. Basically pay you a little bonus based on their business, and we do that for as long as they're appointed with us. So additionally, marketing reimbursement, a simple program. When you do business, we put money into your marketing reimbursement account. When you do marketing, you send us the receipts, and we match your spend dollar for dollar. So nice little program, and one that really, we're big believers here in marketing. We hope you'll take advantage of both of those programs. But being, adding to your marketing right now is just a win-win for everybody. The more people that know what you do, that concentrate in the guarantees and safety arena, I think the more opportunity there is for people to do business with you. So take advantage of marketing reimbursement. New producers, I know we've got a decent number of new producers on with us today, so I just want you to look at those levels. There's a lot of things you can do, from $750 cash bonus to websites to marketing reimbursement, add to your account, bump that up to 2,000. Really nice perk for you there. At the 500,000 level, you can decide whether you want to choose new seminars. You can see there's a couple opportunities to do Social Security training and seminars and coaching. So the idea there is it's a little bit of a lost leader for us in terms of the business that you do and where that ends up. But there's no doubt that if we feel like we can get you to where you feel comfortable doing business with IAMS at those levels, that we'll have a lifelong producer. We do tend to have some great back office support, so people tend to value that over time, and that's the really kind of the reason that we want to encourage that new production with us and get somebody to get a taste of IAMS, and we feel like you will want to keep on coming back for more. So take advantage of those new producer builders. Those of you on the line today that have not yet done that, those are available to you during your first 180 days of being appointed with IAMS. And we're a little lax on that, frankly. Sometimes we know it takes you a while to get started with us, and so we'll give you a little leeway there. And as I mentioned, great back office support. You can read before you some of the things that we concentrate on, but I will just tell you as a general feel is that most of our competitors would agree with me that we are probably head and shoulders above the rest in terms of service. We are answering the phone, we get your answers right back to you right away, trying to get information to you on an immediate basis instead of a 24 or 48 or never turn around. We think it's really important. We know you're out in the field, and every once in a while you need just a little piece of information to complete the deal, and we're going to make sure that we're there to answer the phone live and get you that answer right away. So we think that's important. When you look at all the other things we do from a back office standpoint, you're going to be really happy with that. We're looking at having the information on your particular cases with each carrier on our website soon. We'll have Firelight, which is an e-app system where you can have a single sign-on with IAMS. So all of your carriers that you do business with through IAMS, you can do your e-apps there. We feel like maybe over the next 3 to 5 years, that's really going to be the norm as opposed to what we see right now, which is really low usage of e-apps. I think you're going to find that over time that's going to become more than normal. We want to be prepared for that. So whatever you need from sales development, quotes, anything is just a phone call away. Give us a call here at the office. That's 800-255-5055. Take advantage of what you'll find, I think, to be some of the best service and best agent attention in the industry. We've got a great creative team as well. I want you just to consider them kind of your in-house advertising team. They're going to do everything they can at no cost, kind of a pro bono, because we know that helping you grow your business is how we're going to grow ours. Anything where there's actual cost, we'll try and use marketing reimbursement. We're going to try and make everything that we can available to you as inexpensively as possible. And so hopefully you'll take advantage of that creative team. Just give Jacob or Sean or Aaron a call and say, hey, this is what I need, and see what they can do for you. You'll be surprised at what they can do and the cost they can do it for. Great website, a lot of things out there, getting ready to expand on that, notably with the addition of information on your particular cases so that you can go in and look. And that's why we have the sign on. Of course, that's obviously confidential information, so we want to put everybody beneath the sign on, and we've been doing that for the last year, and we'll continue to try and do that so that you can look at your case stuff online. We've got a nice sales quote, term quote around there. We've got some great sales tools. We've got the IAM sales support library that's on there as well. We keep our current annuity rates out there. We've got an annuity search tool on there as well. LTC product grids. We've gotten a much more developed, valuable life quoting tool now as well, and not just term, but permanent products on there, and that can help you save you time. So look at our website. If you haven't signed on to it and you want to just have maybe one of the sales directors walk you through what's on there, it might be applicable to you. I definitely encourage that for sure. Retirement Analyzer is a tool that we've used for many years. A lot of our guys swear by it. Really takes you and makes you much more valuable, I think, to your client in terms of the ongoing process and planning for their retirement. You can see on the screen there before you that's very graphic. You can also, if you look at some of the things that you can answer for your clients there, bullet pointed there, you can see it's very valuable. Marcus here in our office handles that. If you want to take a look at it, just give Marcus a call and say, hey, Marcus, keep me a sign on. We'll get you a trial of it and let you look at it for 30 days or so. If it looks like something you can use, and we'll go ahead, as long as you're with IAMS and we have a potential for doing some business together, we'll take care of your costs there for a while as well and see if it's something that you can use. I do recommend you get it on there. Try it on yourself, if nothing else, just to get a kind of feel for how it works. You do need to put in fairly substantial information to get out the right information. It's got some Social Security planning stuff on there as well. But in order to be really beneficial, there's, it's garbage in, garbage out, good information in, good information out. But if you're willing to use a tool like that with your client, I think you'll find that you have a much more long-term and closer relationship with your client. They'll need you on a much more regular basis, and you'll be surprised what you learn about your clients over time if they're become dependent on you to answer so many questions about whether or not they can do what they want to do in retirement. That's what the Retirement Analyzer does for you. IAMS Wealth Management, we just had our second annual IAMS Wealth Management Conference here. We're seeing great growth over there, and for good reason. When I look at what we do and how we do it and the level of service that we provide, it really is, by all accounts, kind of above the level that people are used to in that part of the business. If you're not happy with the service you're getting from your current RIA, give Charles a call. If you're maybe think that their fees or monthly costs are too high, I would encourage you to give Charles a call on that as well. We've been getting a lot of compliments from our guys on the value in terms of what we provide for your fees and what the fees actually are. If you're not happy with your payout, a lot of guys are used to it, their RIA having to go through, let's say you get a percent payout and then having to take that further through again grid and getting 70 or 60 or 80% of that 1%. We don't have that system. You're going to get 1% or sometimes a little bit more than 1% of the fee that you charge your client. So that's a nice feature. If you're not happy with some of the platforms, maybe not happy with the assistance you're getting from your current RIA and helping you kind of convert to working with managed assets, I would encourage you to give the folks at IAMS Wealth a call. In fact, I can make it easy for you here if you have just a second. If you want them to give you a call, I'm just going to ask you really quick to hit yes on that poll if you're good with your RIA, or if you're not looking at adding managed assets to the things that you do, hit no. If you could do that for me quickly, I would appreciate it. And then we'll have Charles or Mike give you a call sometime over the next day here. It'd probably be, in fact, today that they would give you a call if you want to learn more about what they do on the IAMS Wealth side. I've been getting a lot of really good feedback from our guys on that over the past 4 or 5 months. We've been in business for a couple of years, and the newness, we've kind of gotten through maybe any rough periods or any rough situations that we've had to deal with over the first year. Things are really smoothing out over there. They're really getting their game very well put together there, and the guys have been really happy with them. So if that's something you want to add, and I thank you all for voting so quickly, by all means, you're doing great there. Got about 5 or 6 of you that need to vote, and I'm going to assume that folks that don't vote are going to be no's there. If you want to be contacted, hit yes for me really quick so I can close that poll out. Appreciate that very much. One thing that we have definitely found with the wealth management side is that as people add managed assets to their business, it increases everything that they do in terms of their insurance business as well. We've seen folks that have added that and see more annuity business, more life business, and then adding that managed assets under management as well has just been a great thing for them. So thank you all for voting so quickly. I'm going to close that poll out. Let's keep moving on here. So we do some training. The next one coming up is going to be September 18th through the 20th, and we do that on site. We take care of all the expenses associated with that training. We're going to have quite a few guest speakers there. We always have our 4 top producers that join us. We'll have some product specialists as well. That is you're going to be out of your office for 3 days. It's a Wednesday through a Friday. We'll bring you in Wednesday and send you home Friday. We'll take care of your travel expenses. We'll take care of your hotel and meals there, of course. And you're going to get exposed to some great ideas from a marketing and sales perspective. We'll talk a little bit about product. Probably I would, if I'm going to kind of proportionally tell you how that works, it's probably about 20% product and about 80% sales and marketing. We know that most of the folks that attend the academy, we're not looking for folks trying to learn the basics of product at this point. What we're looking for is folks that have the product information in hand and are looking more for ways to get in front of more clients, ways to build their business, ways to be more efficient, give themselves more time to do either more business or do maybe the things that they want to do for on a personal level. So if you're looking to increase the efficiency of your business, maybe get in front of more people, get some new ideas that you can use day to day to help your business grow and to be better equipped and more professional for your clients. That's what that academy is about. I'm going to say that if maybe your main line is something other than life and annuity and you're looking to learn more about products, this might not be the best fit for you. But I'm going to launch a poll there as well. And so if you'd like to join us at a Life and Annuity Academy, I'd encourage you to put yes there. If by chance you've been into an academy in the last couple of years, I'd ask you to put no. Maybe you're happy with your prospecting right now and happy with your agency's growth pattern and don't necessarily need to see more people or grow your business. And like I definitely know folks that their biggest challenge right now is managing what they've got. Believe me, I'm envious of y'all, but I know it's true. If that's the case for you, this is probably going to be a no from your standpoint. But if you're looking to add some growth to your business and get in front of more people and maybe be a little bit more efficient with what you do on a daily basis and expose yourself to a little bit more of what some of the other successful agents and agencies are doing out there, then this academy is probably going to be a good fit for you. as you probably read, we talk a little bit about some software tools. We'll get into what's going on in the industry. We'll talk a little bit about some business insurance concepts for sure. Do some large life case marketing, some premium finance stuff will probably come up there. Obviously, with the 4 top producers, we talk about, turnkey seminar systems, radio. Um, those are some of the main topics. We talk a little bit about some great product fits for folks that maybe their main line of businesses, annuities, and some great things to go back to your current clients with to expand your business and expand your offering. So there's a lot that goes on at the seminar or at our 2-day training or 3-day training is really when you're going to be out. And it is jam packed. We start the first night, we go the full next day. We'll do the morning on that Friday, and then we'll get you back to the hotel, get you back to the airport, or get you back to your vehicle if you're driving. We do reimburse for driving. So I do have one question there. So the next training is going to be in Des Moines, and that will be September 18th through the 20th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. If you have interest in that one, or maybe one of the other ones upcoming we have yet this year, or in 2020, by all means, put yes there. If you've already been to a training, or if this is not for you, put no. And I do see that most of you have voted. There looks like a couple of you are still considering. If you are unable to vote, you see our number there, 800-255-5055. I'll also send that to you in a chat here in just a minute, so you have it along with my email. If you are unable to vote for some reason, if you're having a technical difficulty, or maybe you're just listening on the line as opposed to being with us live on the webinar, just give us a call and we'll be glad to send you out. So if you put yes on that, what's going to happen is you're going to get a registration form and you're going to get a sample agenda. If you have interest after that, then you just send that registration form in and we'll give you a call. That's what will happen. If you call in, we'll do the same thing. Okay. So with that, I'm going to close that poll out as well. Thank you all for voting so quickly. I'm going to get moved right along here in the interest of everybody's time. We're just finished up qualification for our next marketing summit, which will be August 25th through the 29th. We're going to be down in beautiful Naples, Florida at the Ritz-Carlton. What that means is qualification for our next IAMS Top Producer Summit has begun as of July 1. We haven't yet named that location, but we'd love to have you all join us there as well. So let's get on to now Social Security claiming with Dave. Dave, are you with us this morning?
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks for joining us here, Dave. So just to give you a little background, Dave is the coach. He runs Lazarus Coaching. Besides that, he is a top producer in his own right. He'll join us at the Ritz based on his production. And most of his production really falls on the security side. So do you need to be securities licensed to take advantage of Social Security seminars? Absolutely not. Most of the folks that do Social Security seminars are not securities licensed. Can you be securities licensed and do that? Sure. You probably want to run the seminar through your broker dealer but it has been FINRA approved, so I don't foresee that will be much of an issue for you. So give you a little history on Dave. He's up over 500 seminars for his career. He is also working with us on the radio side. He's always looking for sales and marketing development and ways to do things better. He'll talk a little bit about some of the improvements that we have just put in place on the Social Security seminar side here. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. So a lot of great things happen, and Dave has been a great partner for us and helped many of our producers. And Social Security claiming seminars by far have been our most successful seminar system. So great subject matter for you today. Thank you all for joining us. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the coach, Mr. Dave Pimper.
Thank you very much, Steve. This is Dave Pimper with Lazarus Coaching. You know, this is really going to be kind of a red letter day. We got lots of folks, a ton of producers on the line with this, and we're doing some changes. Though it's been extremely successful, the big change is having a guarantee of so many buying units at the workshop, and then also the cost. The cost is going to be from now on is going to be less, and I think it was pretty competitive. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But just Social Security, the subject in general, it's a complicated subject. Back with the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, they phased out in 6 months, file and suspend, and there was folks that never did another Social Security seminar because they said the sizzle, the bloom was off the flower. Well, how wrong they could be. I mean, I'll just give you just a perfect example because it's just so I just met with her for the second time yesterday. I do a three appointment close. So here comes a gal. Her husband's not with her. She runs the money. She comes on in. She says, I'm a saver. I'm pretty frugal, but I'm no millionaire or anything. And she lays out 12 statements, 12 statements on my desk of about 1.1 million. And one of those is a dormant 401k. Now, what's happening is she can do something called restrict her application. She is old enough to do that, and it's going to, between her age of 66 and 70, she's going to go on in and probably have $25,000 that I was able to show her that I could put in her pocket. But as we're looking at all those statements, I asked her, it was one for 528,000, and I said, who managed this for you? And she says, you know what? She said she's a registered nurse, and it was a hospital takeover, and they discontinued the plan. I mean, they continued, but they couldn't put into it new because of the new employer. And she said, no one. She said, and I'm scared of, because it's heavily in stocks, and it wasn't. It's a 60-40 mix, 60 in stocks, 40 in bonds or short-term income investments. But anyway, and I said, would you be open? And she said yes. And she said, I just want to make sure that part of this I'd like to have a guarantee, which they don't have any good guarantees in this plan. But before we met the second time, we did a fact finder, and she said, and I said, I hope you're impressed with what I show you next week. And she said, yeah, if everything goes through, what do I need to bring to get this whole thing started? And so I said, bring your Social Security numbers, bring who the beneficiaries are, blah, blah, blah. That was all from the Social Security workshop. Now, whether or not I get that, there's no guarantee, but I certainly think that I would. And I'm trying to get $250,000, $300,000 per workshop. That's actually $528,000. It's probably worth a little bit more now than that, because that was as of last month, and the market's up some. But you know what? I mean, when you go in and what you're paying and what your return is, you don't need many people to make it really, really, really worthwhile. And why aren't people successful in this business? It's because they don't get in front of enough qualified people. And if you get in front of enough qualified people, all of a sudden the business, I won't say it becomes easier, because I don't think that's the case, but it certainly comes where there isn't as many hurdles to go over from a financial standpoint. So what we're going to do today in the next about 20-25 minutes is I'm going to talk about Social Security claiming. I'm going to tell you about actually, this is the first time that we brought it up, on a webinar, but we've got a brand new marketing system to go in that's going to save almost $1,000 on our marketing cost, and very, very few providers of getting people in the seats give any kind of guarantee without an extremely high cost. And we've worked out, which I think is a superb negotiation for our producers to really be competitive on having a guaranteed X amount of buying units or X amount of households to be at each one of those seminars. So if you have any questions whatsoever, certainly go on in. And Steve, do I have the controls here? I wonder if Steve is still there or not.
Yep, you should have them, Dave.
Can you? Okay, well, you know what? I'm kind of, okay, I'm trying to go.
I'm going to move it here real quick before I can go to the next slide.
You're going to do it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, again, if any questions whatsoever, go ahead and just type them on in, and I'll be more happy to answer. So hopefully we'll get, I'm going to start going to the next slide, but hopefully this will move along with it. I've been in the business since 1981. Given exactly 500 seminars, believe it or not. It's actually on the button, 500 seminars. That's given 15 to 20 a year, since the mid-30s. And so certainly seminars, the type of seminars, different things have changed with seminar marketing. But I'll tell you right now, Social Security, it's a complicated subject. Most people really don't understand Social Security claiming, and that's why so many people come to the workshop, and that's why nearly half of those people will sign up for appointments. Steve, I guess I'm not going to get the controls, I take it, huh? I don't think so. So Steve will go with me on this. So here are questions. So we like to mail out usually between 55 and 70, but 58 to 67. But people come because they want to know when's the best time to apply. They want to know when is the best time to apply for me. How, if I coordinating spousal benefits, divorce benefits, survivor benefit, how the new security laws made a difference. They basically want to know, is it going to be there for me? That's the most important thing. You see things like this all the time. This happened to be in the 2015 Bipartisan Budget Act, even though this headline out of Kiplinger's is wrong. Popular Social Security strategies nixed, no, was phased out in 6 months, then it was nixed, but you're seeing much more information than you once did. Seminars, you know what, I'll tell you right now, if you don't think seminar marketing works, then you're not using it. I'm telling you right now, you take the top 10 or 15 producers at IAMS, and I will say that at least 2/3 of those probably ongoing do some type of seminar business. It's a great way. It's an efficient way. You get in front of a lot of people. You have 1 hour presentation, and then people sign up for appointments. And you know what? If you've been bit by a bad seminar dog in the past, and you say I'm never going to do seminars again, I think that's short-sighted. I'll tell you right now. I was just talking to a big hitter out of Chicago. Multi-million dollar fixed index, not counting all the advisory business he does, and seminars have been extremely good for him. And he has different topics, but Social Security in particular. So I'll tell you right now, it's the reason it's a hot topic, Social Security claiming, because no one understands it. Only 3% of the American public understand it. Only 15% of advisors really understand it. It's very much of an educational system. It's not a product system. We make no money off of selling or showing or explaining Social Security, but that's why we just can't just mail them. I'll have people sometimes from, like, I have a radio show. We have something called Retirement Boss Radio we just rolled out about 2.5 months ago. It's been highly successful so far. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 different cities big cities that are the show Retirement Boss Radio, Take Charge of Your Money, is in right now. But we'll have people from time to time say, hey, just mail me the information. Well, it doesn't going to help them. They're not going to even understand it. So Social Security, you have a high closing rate of appointments compared to a lot of other workshops. But transitioning from Social Security actually to the money, yeah, that can be kind of a trick. So will it be there for me? So one of the interesting things is that when you hear about Social Security going bankrupt, they're talking about the Social Security Trust Fund going bankrupt. The $2.9 trillion, that's T, like a ton of money, that will whittle down to zero, according to the Social Security Administration, in trustees in the year of 2035. So this is 2019, so that's 16 years. And so that's when that would go bankrupt. But remember, this is a pay-as-you-go system, so there's still going to be payroll taxes coming on in. That's 6.2% federal on the federal side. For the individual employee, 6.2%. For the employer, 12.4%. For every $100,000, that's $12,400 is going into payroll to pay that lifetime income for you and or your spouse. So it's quite, I will tell you right now, most government programs have a tremendous amount of waste. Most big companies have a tremendous amount of waste. So what happens is that I think that what happens is that you've got to look at Social Security as a way to go in, educate people on a subject they don't know, and by doing that, and I call it the 5 pillars of income, you need to find out where their wages are now. You need that for the earnings report. Yeah, if you make about $17,640 some or 50 some odd dollars, you're going to lose half of your Social Security. So you need to know our wages. You need to know our pensions, because that's part of income. You need to know investable assets. Could they delay taking Social Security, let it grow 8% between the age of full retirement age and the next year, and the next year, and the next year up to 70? 8% in cost of living. Cost of living is 2.8% this year. So you're getting almost 11%. Almost 11% on top. If you got a $2,000 benefit, you wait for 1 year, $220 it's going to grow. If you have a $2,500 benefit, it's going to grow $70, $80 in 1 year's time period. It's like a mini pension. Yeah. That's why we need to know that. And then RMDs on your traditional IRAs, 401ks. That's an income source. It's a forced income source by the government, whether you want to take it or not, but you do it. It's taxable. And then Social Security, which is by far the most flexible of all those 5 pillars of income. So will it be there for me? Yeah. If you ask, it will. I mean, if they're going to make changes to it, and even if they wouldn't make changes, you're still, proposed or looks like you're going to get 79 cents on every single dollar coming in from payroll taxes, even if the trust fund went bankrupt and it had zero money in it. When I'm up there at a workshop, I asked, do you think that Social Security ran a deficit or a surplus last year? Almost everyone says a deficit. Ran a surplus. Ran a surplus of about $19 million. Or excuse me, billion, with a B, 19 billion, still a very small sum off of almost $1 trillion coming in from receipts, but the liabilities, the debits going out, meaning to the recipients, there was still a positive. It may be negative this year, but you know when the last time the Social Security ran a deficit? 1983, Ronald Reagan. That was 83, 84 was the first year that Social Security got taxed. The brackets have not changed any. There hasn't been any inflation with those brackets. But what happens is that it got taxed and they had to shore up Social Security. It was in trouble then. Believe it or not, it's ran a surplus every year. Get a load of this. Of the $1 trillion, give or take, that comes on in, only less than 1%, 0.7 of 1% is used in administrational expenses, i.e. the Social Security administrational offices, the employees, the benefits, yeah. And it should be more because when you go there, I think the folks are undertrained. I think they're understaffed. I know they've closed a bunch of offices in the last 10 years. They've really made it lean. But you know what it does for someone like ourselves, advisors giving advice, which Social Security Administration, believe it or not, cannot give advice. They can only tell you what your highest benefit is right now. It leaves the door wide open for a professional like ourselves to go in and to give that professional advice. And because we're uncovering the 5 pillars of income for the client, what happens is that you can go on in and really, really help the client. So here's what happens is, first of all, seminars are not dead. Ask anyone who gives them. They're giving them because they're successful. Do people understand Social Security? No, and they're not going to next week. And no matter how many workshops they go to, most people will never have a full grasp of Social Security claiming because it's complicated. There's so many different rules, 2,700 rules in Social Security claiming. You got to be kidding me. There's 3 ages or dates that are important to Social Security. When is the first date you can take Social Security? Well, if you said 62, you're right. Not a trick question. There are exceptions, like for disability, you can take 50 and over. Like for a survivor benefit, you can take as early as 60. Yeah, there's children's benefits. They can be very young and be taking. Yeah, so there are different exceptions, but normally you ought to be at least 62. What's the latest that you have to take it or you just lose the benefit? 70. That's an 8-year span, 62 to 70. Every year you wait from 62. If you wait to 63, it grows approximately 6%. You wait another year, it grows approximately 6%. And remember, cost of living is on top of every Social Security benefit. So Social Security is 2.8% this year. Let's just round it up to 3. They're getting about a 6% increase. Plus 3.9. Where can you go and get a 9% guaranteed income stream from the government for life and a spousal benefit and a divorced benefit? Where can you get that in the real world? You cannot. Social Security is an unbelievable income benefit that without it we would have many more folks on poverty row. Then there's something called full retirement age. FRA. So if you're born from 1943 to 1954, FRA is 66 years of age. I'm 64 years of age. I was born in 55. Yeah, so I'm 66 years and 2 months. If you're born in 56, it's 4 months. 57, 6 months, up to 1960 or later, 67. A little baby born today at the local hospital, what's their full retirement age? 67. Absolutely. That's it. There's only from 66 to 67. There's only 12 months, and that's your full retirement age. But here's the deal. In 1935, when Social Security started, the average age of the American male to die, 62 years of age. And they started paying Social Security out at one date, at the age of 65. What a deal if you're the government. In 1950, there were 15 people putting in the Social Security Administration system. 15 for every retired. 15 workers for every retired. Today, it's 3 for every retired. Well, why is it down to 3? People are having less kids, right? Yep, people have less kids. There's less workers. It's a much older workforce. It's a much older just living force. Many, many more people are retired. It's a much older society now than it was 80, 85 years ago. So one of the very easiest things they could do is just raise full retirement age. To raise it. People are living longer. I'll tell you right now, you ask my son Sam, he's 27 years old. You say, Sam, they're going to raise your full retirement age from 67 to 70 for Social Security. You know, you tell me, give me another beer, Dad. That's a joke. I say that in my seminar, and everybody laughs. Yeah. He could care less. He just thinks the government's cheating by taking taxes out. He doesn't understand everything that money's going for. But Social Security, if you think it's a Ponzi scheme, you're wrong. If you think that it's built on sand, you're wrong. When we were kids, if you're 50, 67 years of age, you heard your mother and father say, boy, you better save. They told me, Dave, you better save, you better invest, because Social Security will never be around when you retire. Well, unbelievably it is, and going strong with almost $3 trillion. Not billion, not Warren Buffett billion. We're talking about trillions of dollars. Yeah, biggest social government program in the world, Social Security. Little trivia fact. Back in the early 30s, when they were thinking about having a social to really keep people off of poverty row, back then, if you were unemployed or retired, 70% of the people were on poverty row. And we really took our Social Security kind of engineered it like the system that was in West Germany. That's where we really went in and took the system from. But it has been a system that has really stood the time, stood up to time. So it goes up about 6% from 62 to full retirement age, and then full retirement age and later grows 8%. When I throw cost of living on there, your money can grow 40 to 50% over 4 years. My gosh, what a huge income benefit if you can let it go. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, but I'm going to talk about the rules today. First of all, PIA stands for the primary insurance amount. That's the amount at full retirement age. Let's say John's PIA is $2,000, Jane's PIA is $800. If Jane applies for her full retirement age, and so does John, let's first say John's going to get $2,000, but Jane's going to get all of her $800 benefit, or she can elect to take half of John's. Half of $2,000 is $1,000. $1,000 is $200 more dollars than $800. Jane's benefit is $1,000. John has to file for Jane to get half of his. It's gender neutral. It could be Jane making $2,000, John making $800. Makes no difference. That's just for hypothetical sake. Now, if John doesn't take his, now Jane doesn't have the option. She has to go in and take her $800. Okay? So that's how the basics of how a spousal benefit works. Divorce spouse benefits. Here's I call this the triple play in divorce spouse benefits. First of all, your marriage had to last 10 years before you got the divorce. So if you hate each other, you've been married 9.5 years, wait it out another 6 months, and you'll have more benefit options when it comes to Social Security. Marriage lasted 10 years. You're currently unmarried. Could have been married before, but you're currently unmarried when you're going to file, and your ex is at least 62 years of age. Those three things lined up. You can use your ex just like you're still married to him. And there is more benefits to a married couple for Social Security, more options than there is a single. You have more options if you're married than if you're single. Now, I know this gets complicated, and I could get a lot more in depth. If you sign up for Social Security seminar marketing, and we're going to set a seminar out there, I coach you through, and I used to charge for that. Now, IAMS actually has me on, the FMO has me on a retainer, and so I get paid for coaching you. You don't pay for it. It's paid for by IAMS, which is pretty sweet if you're the producer. And what happens is that I'm gonna explain and coach to you Social Security so you really become an expert. I'm always going to be kind of at your beck and call for calls. So calls or emails, text. If you need information, I'll go on appointments. If you're asking questions about Social Security, I've got some reps that use me that way. But I'll tell you right now, the big goal is to get in front of more qualified people. Survivor benefit when somebody dies, and again, this is a basic example. Joe and Julie are both married. Their full retirement age, meaning 66 years of age or over. Joe's benefit is $2,000 and Julie's is $1,200, and Joe dies. Okay? Well, what happens now, Julie has an option. She can keep her benefit at $1,200, or she can drop her benefit and go up to Joe's. You can take your own, or you can go up to the bigger one. Drop yours and take the bigger one. What's interesting is here she'll take the bigger one because that's $800 or more. The interesting thing is on a survivor benefit, Julie has to go in and she has to request this online in writing. She could request it orally, going into the Social Security Administration office. It doesn't happen automatically like a spousal benefit. Now, if your head is spinning around just a little bit, what the heck do you think that the audience, the attendees come? I had a guy yesterday come in and from the Social Security workshop, and we try to do an in-service non-hardship withdrawal, but he was too young, and I thought that he would be. He was 55, and they'd only do it at 59 and a half. So I'll put him in my tickler file for 4.5 years. But he said, boy, you said something. You never know what's going to strike people. You said something. And he said, what you said is that the majority of people leave money on the floor when it comes to Social Security. Isn't it worth your time to say yes and come in for a consultation? And he said, yeah. He said, I don't know. He's a smart guy, but he doesn't know anything about Social Security claiming. I thought he was divorced, and was kind of that whole divorce slide is what kind of got him going. So coordinating spousal benefits. So let me say this first. The Bipartisan Budget Act did away with file and suspend. Now, file and suspend and restricted application, the only difference on that is if you're a giver or a taker of your spousal benefit. That free money. Are you a giver or are you a taker? Where restricted, you're a taker of the spousal benefit. With file and suspend, you are a giver. You're giving after you claim half of your benefit to your spouse. Restricted application is still around if you're old enough. So if you're born before January the 2nd of 1954, you got to be 65 years of age, born January the 2nd or before of 54. You can go in like this lady that has this 500 plus thousand. She can restrict her application, which is that found money. So let's go in and just kind of explain really of how this works. Now stay with me. I don't like slides like this that are all copy, but stay with me. You've got Mike and you got Mary, and they're both full retirement age. And actually, they wouldn't have to be both. Just Mike would have to be, but let's say they are. Mike's amount at full retirement age, PIA, primary insurance amount, is $2,000. Mary's is $800. Mary has to file. They can't do this unless Mary files. You can't do this unless Mike is full retirement age. Mary wants to have some money coming on in. Mike's going to continue to work, and he doesn't want to take his money. Well, normally he would just let his grow the 8% in cost of living. But with a restricted application, he starts his at full retirement age or later, stops it instantly. In the eyes of Social Security, he is taking his benefit, even though he's not. He's able to go in and continue to, with restricted application, he lets his benefit grow the guaranteed 8% a year. But you know what he can do? He's now opened up for a spousal benefit. Spousal benefit is always half of your spouse's full benefit. Mary's taken $800, half of that is $400. That $400, Mike can take every month until he turns the age of 70. In this case, it's 4 years. Well, 400 times 12 is 4,800 times 4 years is 19,200. Folks, I'm going to tell you what, that's free money. Less than 1% of all people where a restricted application would help them do it. And you know why that is? Lack of information. They're certainly not going to get this information from the Social Security office unless they ask. That's the kind of benefit we can bring to the average American out there, the average John Q. Public and Josephine Q. Public. They wouldn't know this on their own. Yeah, pretty cool. Restricted application. When it works, man, it's like Cinderella's slipper. Hey, if any questions, type them in. And Steve, I'm going to shoot this back to Steve Murray here just in a little bit. And we're actually going to put a poll up. And in that poll, it's going to say, would you like to get more information? I'm going to talk a little bit about seminar marketing and the cost of it. And it's called digital marketing now through Facebook, which is pretty cool. The last 2 months, I've tested it both months. But first of all, let's just say this. The Social Security Administration can't give you advice. They cannot give you advice. They can give you the highest benefit you're due right now, the factual highest benefit, but they can't say, if you could do this, or here's an option, maybe you could do this, I recommend you do this. They can't say that. We can. We advise all day long, but the Social Security Administration office cannot do that. And this is kind of wild. And I love bringing this on up, and because it's true. If I can get it to the next slide here, is that I actually got this from online, Social Security Administration taking the claim. Look at D. Provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. Isn't that wild? Look at C. Do not ask leading questions worded in such a way as to suggest a proper or desired answer. They can't give you hardly anything. They can give you the highest benefit that you're entitled to right now. What a deal. Front of my door, coming into my office, says financial advisor. Could you imagine if they said, hey, Dave, we need some financial advice. Can we get it from you? Nope. I can give you a lot of advice, but can't give you any financial advice. They're worried about the liability. That's what they're worried about. We actually don't have this slide. This is actually a seminar sign-up, appointment sign-up sheet from the seminar itself. And we have, yes, I want an appointment. No, I don't. We have dates and times to go on in of what it is. But I talk about the 5 pillars of income: work pensions, income-producing assets, required RMDs, and then Social Security. So how much money do we make? We know they make $100,000 a year. How much money do we make from that? Nothing. How about that? If they got a pension coming in at $3,000 a month, how much do we make from that? Nothing. Unless they invest the money, but they normally don't. Nothing. How much do we make from RMDs unless they invest the money? Nothing. Social Security. How much money do we get giving great Social Security information? Nothing. I'll tell you, when it comes to income producing assets like 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, SEP simples, brokerage accounts, life insurance, whole life values, savings accounts, money market bank accounts, on and on and on and on and on and on. All of those, you absolutely, if we're managing that business, that money, than we've been compensated or making money along the way. And we've got a system. Took me a while to figure it out, kind of, to tell you the truth, but it works very, very well. And what happens is that when I coach you, I have 3 coaching sessions. That's covered in the cost of the seminar. We used to pay out of pocket. We do not any longer, but we go through that pillars of income in depth to know how to go and bring this on up. We're not using horse's mouth any longer. Actually, I've done 500, exactly 500 public seminars. I try to make a complicated subject, make it easier. We have lots of attachments in the Social Security claiming seminar system. It's live, it's with me. We have 3 45 to an hour sessions to go through everything. There's no meals. The transition from Social Security to actually appointment is pretty cool. And there's ongoing support here. Now, I am going to go and say this, that in all my years, almost 40 years in this industry, I don't think I've ever anybody ever come up to me and say, Dave, you can't believe how much money I've made from procrastinating. I got rich from procrastinating. Nah, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't. There's no saying, says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Never comes, does it? You keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. Let me tell you what was so cool about Social Security seminars. I've always done a hard mailing. I've tested for 2 years some different kind of social media, digital marketing, like Facebook marketing. And because I'm 64 years of old, I am old to change. But I found a company, and plus the cost on digital marketing, especially if you wanted a guarantee of so many buying units or so many households there, was extremely expensive. But I ran across with IAMS, Insurance Agent Marketing Services. We ran across a company, small. The overhead is small. They're very good at Facebook marketing, and they're just tied in. They're not a big firm with big overhead. But we had a load of this. With regular marketing on a mailer, it would cost around $3,300 to mail out 6 pieces. $3,300. You had $100 with an 800 number call center to get your numbers. We use horse's mouth, which is still very, very good. It's just that the cost was over $500. Had the software, had reading material, and then I charged them to coach. I mean, to start off, it was for $4,000 to $4,500. Get a load of this. The package we have now, and you're going to be hearing a lot about it. So for Social Security seminars, is this: you get a guarantee, which we've never had before, a guarantee that you're going to get 25 buying units. That means a husband and wife is a buying unit, a single is a buying unit, between 2 nights at the same, say, library, at the same location, 2 nights within 7 days of each other. That's important that you do that. But we're going to guarantee that you'll get 25 buying units. On 25 buying units, you should get 10 appointments or more, because you're going to close 40 to 50% of those people for appointments. So you have 25 buying units that are guaranteed. You go in and you get 3 months of free service for the software, which is Social Security claiming software. I use it. It's very, very good. 3 months free. You get coaching from me, and you can use me anytime during or after that for any questions around Social Security, financial planning, retirement planning. And we're not going to pay $4,000 plus for a guarantee of 25 units. We're going to go in and charge $2,500 for the entire turnkey Social Security digital system. Now, I don't know if you know how good that is, but I went out to 3 of the biggest competitors. They're well known. I'm not going to say their names on the webinar. If we talk one-on-one, I can certainly let you know. But the lowest price for the guarantee was $4,850. The big boy middle price was $5,350, and for 25 guaranteed buying units, it was $6,300 on the other. That's an average of $5,800, and we're doing it. IAMS is doing it for $2,500. Wow, I'm telling you what, If you haven't done seminars in the past or you haven't done them lately, there just cannot be a better time. I mean, seminars are, especially Social Security seminars. I'm doing more Social Security seminars than anything else. So if you'd like information, you want to get on the front of this, the front end of this, if you'd like to, just mark yes, and certainly take the phone call when one of my 3 administrators give you a call from our office, Lynn, Lori, or Amy. But they're going to call, set an appointment with myself, not one of my associates, but with me, and we're going to see if seminar marketing is something that can be branded into your practice. I'll tell you right now, 97, 98% of American public knows very little about Social Security claiming. Only 15 to 18% of advisors really understand Social Security claiming inside and out. You need to be the local expert on Social Security claiming. I get my share of referrals because I do know Social Security, and I am going to go in and in this teach you on the process. I'm going to go in and get you up and running. If you got any questions, I am certainly going to hold your hand and help you learn Social Security. So I don't care if you're 85 years of age or you're 25 years of age. If you don't know Social Security and you're working with the pre-retired and just retired crowd, my oh my. If you don't know Social Security and you're competing against Dave Pimper, you'll not get the deal. I can almost assure you, because Social Security plays such a prominent role for most people. So if you, and I'm going to turn this over to Steve while we keep this poll up, but if you'd like more information of how you can market, get qualified prospects, you can keep swinging at that ball, then you know what? Social Security seminars, especially with the new cost of the new guarantee that we have, 25 guaranteed buying units. If you don't have 25, you know, we absolutely are going to go in for everyone you don't have, and we're going to go in and pay you back. If we have more than that, hey, great. We're not charging you more. It's a very competitive pricing for a guarantee. Really kind of, I'm surprised that our digital team did not really want to do this, our third-party vendor, but we want to do it for IAMS producers and give them the best quality they can, most efficient money use that they can when it comes to seminar marketing. If you mark yes, we'll talk about that, see if it's a fit for you. I'm going to scoot it on over to you, Steve, and see if we have any questions, and then we'll close up shop today.
Great, Dave. In the words of Ethel, the 1940s telephone operator, the lines are busy and lighten up. They really like the 25.
Well, Steve, think about this. You made the deal. I mean, I did a little background, but I mean, you stamped the deal. But when the average is over $5,500 because of the guarantee, that's what really held them off. But I've tested it twice now, and we did well above that. Not just the pricing, but the quality of the people coming on in and the number of appointments set, coaching, free Social Security seminar, Social Security claiming software for 3 months. I mean, the package is, and I know we're going to have a specific seminar just on that, but it's quite a deal you put together.
Yeah. No, it is strong. So I'm getting questions like, you're guaranteeing attendees $100 a piece. So the answer to that is yes. Yep, that is the math.
That's right.
Guaranteeing.
That's right.
That. So
2,500 at 25. So if you get 24, we only get 24 buying units, not attendees. Those are buying units. So husband and wife being a buying unit. But if we don't have 25 buying units, we have 24. We're crediting you back or giving you back cash, or you can credit to your next workshop $100. If there's 5, only 20 come instead of 25, there's $500 back. You hardly ever see this in the industry, and if it is, it's very expensive to do. Though lots of people do it, Steve. It's amazing. People will spend $5,000-$6,000, and you know what? We're coming out and offering it for $2,500 with no strings attached. So that's special. That's
yeah,
special.
it is. I'm guaranteeing. I'm guessing that maybe some of the folks have had some experience with some of the other guarantees and what those numbers are. So I'm guessing that's why there's a lot of incredulity, a lot of disbelief, if you will. But the answer is yes. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So if we can help you with that, we'd love to. There are some questions about training on Social Security, Dave. So I have dealt with this before, and I know you have too, where folks are like, well, I'd like to, but I don't know enough about Social Security. So by the end of the training with Dave, you'll have all the information that you need to be very credible and to do the seminars. The seminars themselves are really kind of more of a teacher-student type approach. So there's not a lot of performance involved. That we've had people that have had really good luck with Social Security seminars that have tried other types of seminars and not been successful. We've had people that have had very good luck with our Social Security seminars that have tried other people's Social Security seminars and not had good luck. So if you're either one of those people, don't count this out. I think it's probably worth a phone call to Dave's team and chat with them and see. So limitations, Dave, by geography, are there any areas right now? I get to say the answer to that is going to be yes, but the question is, are there any areas that would not be available based on we have other people there, or maybe it doesn't work with this type of approach? There are probably a couple. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, no, yeah, there probably is. We're not doing protected areas, but there's certainly, if the areas, if we got a person in Chicago and they want to do it in Chicago, it makes zero because you got 7 million people in Chicago. If there's a person in Fremont, Nebraska, which I'm from, where there is only 34,000 in the entire county, are we going to let a person go into Fremont, Nebraska? No, we're not. So you know what? I would say it'd be kind of a needle in a haystack to be on top of each other, though. But we knew this was going to happen, Steve. We knew there was going to be a ton of response to that kind of an offer. Yep. And it's fun because I can see the phone lines just lighting up there or from the questions and stuff. That's fun.
It is.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what. If again, I call it the bad dog bite syndrome. I got bit by that dog back. Why do you don't like dogs? Oh, I got bit by a dog. And the guy's 60 and he got bit when he was 13. I said, well, you know what? Maybe you've changed. Maybe the dog has changed. Maybe things have mellowed out. Maybe things are better now. If you've had unsuccess with seminars, you should give us a try. If you're paying over $2,500 and they're guaranteeing you and not guaranteeing you 25 buying units, you need to give us a try. So what we try to do when we started this, and I tested it twice. I tested, and Steve, you were right with that test with me, and we did it 2 months ago and last month, and my numbers were just as good, if not better, than from my hard copy, and I saved over $1,000. It was a big deal. So we put it into a program, and now we're making it available, to all the producers that work their business, or at least a part of their business, through insurance agency marketing services, and we're excited about that.
Yep. And it is not registrants. So that question came up, is that registrants? It is not registrants. It's actual attendees. Your registrants number will be quite a bit higher. We will count on you to do the basic follow-up for everybody that registered, send them out that letter, make that phone call to confirm as many as we can. But the guarantee is for 25 actual buying unit attendees. So that's what we're talking about there.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yep. Can you do it the way that we've done in the past, do the mailing? Certainly you can. We haven't changed anything there. That's still certainly an option. We've had great success. That was the one question that we had, is we've got a system here that's not broken. It works, and the mailing works, and the guys and gals are having great success with it. So it's not broken. This is just another option that you can consider that can cut down your costs and get you the same or better quality. I think Dave would say, based on your experience, would you say, Dave, the similar, better, worse quality people that you're in front of when you're doing it via digital?
Similar. I think it's in that same ball game. But Steve, the difference on this is that almost no one has it at this cost. You got to love the word guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? If we can't, I mean, we talked to our digital team, our third-party vendor, who we're close with, and we got other dealings with them. But they just said, hey, if we go on out and if we see that we can't fill the rooms without throwing a lot more cost at it, we wouldn't keep it going. But they would never start this if they weren't pretty darn sure that they could keep it. And they do a lot of digital. But here's a really neat thing too. This offer is only being offered. It's not through other FMOs. They're not working with other FMOs. They're working just with us, just with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. So it's pretty nice to have a proprietary type of a seminar system that has. And think about this: 3 months free. You have absolutely no cost whatsoever for 3 months on your Social Security claiming software. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty neat. So putting the coaching. I used to charge for my coaching. IAMS did cover part of it, but I charged for my coaching. Producers paid for part. Nope, it's all covered part of it now. And so there's we're trying to make this as absolutely as appealing as they possibly can, because the only way IAMS makes money, and Steve, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but it's true, is by the producer. If the producer doesn't produce, there's no override from the insurance company. You guys are out of business.
Yep.
And the more successful the producer is, the more successful IAMS is. IAMS has been in business for 33 years, and that's a long time. Same ownership, Charles Hiring, Sr., and then Steve, you've been there. You're almost
90.
a lifer, aren't you?
It seems
94.
Like it.
25 years. That's a long time. 25 years. So what we're saying here is, hey, if you're doing seminars now and you're not getting a guarantee of X amount of buying units there, you better talk to us. If you're doing seminars now and you're having trouble getting people there or haven't gotten the type of business you're expecting, you need to try the Social Security digital workshop. And lastly, if you tried one years ago and you were unhappy with it, you know what? You should give this a try. For $2,500, I think that you will not be sorry. I think that you'll look at this and hopefully you'll make it part of your ongoing marketing system in the future.
Yep. So I do have a couple questions about what is included. So the PowerPoint included.
Yep.
There's no need with the digital setup to have that telephone answering service involved. So that is a non-issue here. The training software. We can talk a little bit more about that, but as Dave mentioned, we've set up an agreement where we get the first 3 months free on the software. So will there eventually have to be a cost for that? Yes, but can we try it out and see if it's going to work and not have any additional cost for you? The answer to that question right now is yes. So trying to make it as easy and streamlined as we possibly can. I've got a couple questions on specific areas. We'll have to answer those. Craig asks the name of the company that's doing the digital marketing. I can assure you, Craig, that it's no other of the many digital marketing groups that you've heard of. This is custom setup. So
it is, yeah.
Dave will be glad to tell you about that if you've hit yes on that poll. I'm going to return to that poll really quickly. I don't have any more questions. Dave, is there anything that you want to add? Well, we got really good response there. Any more questions that you, or any more, anything else that you want to add before we close up our webinar today?
I think three things. One is, I just want to thank you for taking time today, because, an hour out of your day, that's an hour out of prospecting, an hour out of being in an appointment, an hour out of being on your phone. It's a commitment, but what happens is, from this, hopefully you'll take a seat and we can talk and we can go in and see how maybe we could put seminar marketing, especially with this new system of guaranteed appointments, of cost effective. I think that's real important. And I think the third thing is just, Steve, I don't want to get sappy here, but, IAMS, the reason IAMS has been successful is because they truly do put the producer first. They know where their bread's buttered. And this type of system here, I just didn't think we'd ever go in for a cost like this to go in and give guaranteed buying units there. And you said, to make this work, Dave, I really need it to, and we negotiated it out, and here we are. So I'm excited to talk to everyone and anyone who's interested in seminar marketing, kind of from a new wave. I'm 64 years old, so not that Facebook is past me, but could I do this myself? Absolutely not. You need someone who has an algorithm expertise with Facebook. Those guys are superb at what they do, and I'm really excited to see where this bodes for the future, because I think it's going to be a lot more production for a lot more producers.
Yep. Before you go, Dave, the question just popped up about radio. So I think the Social Security seminars and radio, do you advertise your Social Security seminars on your radio show currently? You think that has something to do with your response here in the area?
No, you know what? You've told me to do that, Steve.
Yeah.
And I have not yet. But am I in the future? We record. We're always 2 weeks out. But from now on, I'm actually am going to bring it up on the show to call in to reserve a seat. I am going to do that. I'm going to cross-pollinate that. I have not done that in the past. No, I mean, I haven't done it at all. The two testings that I did, one in May and one in June. I mean, we got 10 appointments, you know, per marketing effort on each one of those, which was just as good. I won't say it's better, but just as good as my direct mail, and I paid over $1,000 less. Mine was not guaranteed because it was a test, but we did put the guarantee. I actually had 30 buying units on one and 31 buying units on the other. There was a question that came up: what happens if you don't get 25 but you get 26? Do you have to pay extra? No, you don't. So the extra ones are on us, and I hope that there's a bunch of extras, but at least get 25. That's the goal we have. That's the guarantee that we set into place.
Yep. Good. Just let me do one quick last question check here and see if nothing else has come up. Nope. I think we're good. So I want to finish too by thanking you all. We've got a lot of folks that maybe had not been quite as familiar with IAMS, and you can tell we're a little extra excited about this one. Thank you for joining us today. For those of you that have been on webinars with us in the past, thank you again for joining us. I know that you're committed to growing your business the right way, and we're committed to helping you with training and finding new ways to get you in front of good and solid prospects with great information. That's how it all works. That's how that's how the world goes around in our business. And so we're going to do everything we can to help you. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule. Thank you, Dave, for taking time out of your schedule as well. And with that, we'll close up today's webinar.
Okay. Have a great week, guys and gals. Bye-bye.